So, like I said, you guys can just kind of ride along and see what I see right now. Showing so much rotation, but it's so close to the radar, it's kind of hard to tell with what I've got in front of me. But there's a lot of turbulence going on in there. Looks like there's probably some hail. So right now we'll just ride and watch, and as I get a little bit closer, we will give you a little update, right? See what we get. So if you guys are seeing anything on radar or warnings or whatever that I'm not catching, any information I don't have, please comment. Feel free to let me know what I'm driving into. That's much appreciated. Feedback is always great to have. Right now these are just thunderstorm warned. There's not any tornado warnings with this. And it's only 60-mile-an-hour winds that they're saying. 1-inch hail. So nothing super crazy with these, but there is a lot of turbulence. Like I said, being so close to the radar, it is a little bit hard to see some of that. So this town I'm coming up on is Madrid. It kind of looks like it's splitting around, and that's kind of what I'm hoping too, is I can kind of split right through them. So I'm not in the middle of anything rain wrapped, if there is anything in there. Again, I'll probably, after these come through, I may dodge back north and see what I can catch as they kind of come up that direction again. These are really starting to pop pretty good. And as they get further north and this stuff pulls together is when the winds are really gonna pick up. Set up to 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and that can cause some damage. So make sure you've got everything that's loose either put away or tied down. The state bird of Alabama is a trampoline for good reason. So this is Madrid that I'm just coming into. Get through here, and then we should be just about into the middle of it. Starting to get a few sprinkles. direction that they're moving. Not entirely sure if it means that they're trying to rotate a little bit and spin up a little bit. Storms don't usually move straight north here. More Gales on motorcycle. Excitement to it. Storm chaser Brandon is coming through on the west side of this. Hopefully didn't drive right into it. Hopefully he's getting some good stuff over there. Alright, getting this little heavy bit here. We should be in the clear. Very interesting clouds. I don't know how well you can see them or not, but they're a little bit on the right hand side, to the west. Like I said, there's some very interesting turbulence with these things. cross paths again up there. Highway 141. I'll be going back west on. Kind of drive right into the back side of this thing. So if there is anything back here, it looks like this is where it's pretty turbulent, and I just didn't want to get in anything rain wrapped. So if we're going to catch anything, I think it's going to be from this direction. Get out of town a little bit. I might turn the camera off a little bit more so it's facing a little more northwest, because I think that's where see things. It's kind of this way a little more. west of Granger. Coming up on, I think this is the Woodward turn off. I'm kind of on the south edge of the cell. Just south of Woodward. Just trying to kind of follow it along, keep an eye on it. Plenty of turbulence. Looks like probably some hail. And it's still awfully close to the radar to be able to pick up exactly what it's doing. So I'm just kind of following it along and watching it. You guys can watch along with me and see what I'm seeing. And if I see anything interesting, I will definitely point it out. I'm on 141. This is the Woodward exit here. I might actually, I think I'm just going to kind of pull off here, sit for a minute, and decide what my next course of action will be. Turn this back this way a little bit. See what's in front of me.
See exactly what's going on.
Sorry about that. My camera gets ornery.
West of Des Moines, the ones that may not know. Been about 75 all afternoon and windy, of course, and we are down to 51 degrees. Running through these little towns, you really fall behind, especially these storms moving so fast. Here and here on. Get on the Highway 210. See if we can get back within it. Sorry guys, I select my maps and see which direction I need so I don't get too much further behind this. Lots of trees around here to maneuver through to get back north. Whew. Really want to head back north as soon as possible. Got a massive thicket of trees to my north that are running for miles. We should be able to get back to the north. What a beautiful day. I've been itching to get out on a storm. It wasn't looking so promising earlier today as it was moving on, but we got some sun and it really triggered. So glad it did. The service is a little spotty around here, so I don't know if glitched out or not, or might have some freeze points. Get up here and take a little scenic route, apparently. New country. Haven't been out in this area in my life. Been to a lot of places, but this is new. It's really pretty around here. Not too far from Boone, Iowa, which the racing community out there, like they have their big races every year, the Boone Nationals. A lot of people coming through, a lot of states. East to west coast, all the way down south, and I got a lot of guys up in Minnesota that I know that compete in it. Nice facility. It is really beautiful out here.
All right. I just got the go ahead to start doing my thing, so let's do this. So currently, I'm gonna look at the satellite imagery. Look at how insane this low is. It is. I think it's probably the strongest storm I have ever seen in my history of living. I've never seen anything like it. All this dust is coming in from all the desert and wrapping around into the center of that vortex. And so it's causing a lot of wildfires in Oklahoma, a lot of pileups and traffic and stuff like that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I can in another time. But right now, I'm more concerned about the moderate threat that has been extended all the way south into the Delta region of Mississippi and Louisiana. So let's go over their what the SPC has in their discussion. All right. So for the 20Z update. Widespread significant severe weather remains likely this afternoon over tonight for much of the Mississippi Valley and parts of the southeast. So that's a summary. Pretty much there's a really, like I said, that really strong low pressure system is going to continue making its way out east, and so with that you're going to have just increasing winds aloft. It's a recipe for disaster. Don't use that word too lightly. So definitely pay attention to the local weather services and the tornado watches and warnings that you'll be receiving if you live in that red area. Let's go over how it's currently looking so far. All right, so this is for 21Z, which is that's around 4 p.m. Let's go to current time. 5:30. I'll do 6 o'clock. All right, so we got this really strong mid-level jet at 500 millibars, around 110 knots, and that is going to be what the one of the driving factors for the severe weather threat today or tonight. You can see those are southwesterly winds, and so on the northern mode, gonna have a lot of severe thunderstorms and a squall line threat. Farther south, the winds are a little more perpendicular. Upper level winds are a little more perpendicular for the surface layer winds. So what that means is going to be some potential discrete supercell development as we go farther south. And that's more prevalent the farther south we get. All right, let's look at the Cape for right now. Pretty strong over Arkansas and Louisiana. Don't know if the Cape in Louisiana is gonna be playing much of anything right now, but it might. It should later on tonight. One thing with the Cape, if you have tons of Cape, but you don't have the lapse rates of the air parcel to get that lift that it needs, it's wasted energy really. So let's take a look at the lapse rates. Pretty much, I should go over what lapse rates are. It's how fast the air cools with height over a kilometer. So 7.3 Celsius. 7.3 degrees Celsius per kilometer with height. So that's pretty high. I want to say the range for lapse rates is between 6 degrees Celsius per kilometer and 10 degrees Celsius per kilometer. So 7.48, it's really high. It's not good, especially with the Cape that we saw. All right, so I'm just pulling this random sounding from in Louisiana. The photograph doesn't look like too much is gonna happen, but the sounding over here, it's a little concerning because you have this elevated mix layer right in here with that little warm nose, and so it's going to be creating a little bit of convective inhibition. Not too much though. So actually, let me see if there's a better, more realistic sounding that we might get. And by the way, this is my first time looking at this model run. I've been looking at weather since 4 in the morning. It's quite literally my job. I'm doing this. I'm doing this for the love of it. I'm doing nothing. Yeah, just doing it for the pure love of it. Wow, look at this significant tornado parameter. That is insane. Let me zoom in on this. .2. That is. Gosh. Okay. Let's see how this plays out going into later tonight. It just gets worse. It is getting worse. A few hours ago when I was looking at this, it was not this high. Let me do the model trends. All right, so this is the same time, just over the different model runs. So I'm gonna start at the most recent model run time and go backwards and show you guys. So it looks like the overall trend from beginning over here to the end, the latest one, it's a upward generally upward trend in the Sigtor parameter. Oh my gosh, that is insane. 9. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm looking at this photograph right here. It is very curved. Wow. Okay. Air this is insane. Over a kilometer, so 7.3. Let's see where that is. Okay, southeast Missouri. Let's take a look at these lapse rates here. Go back to single image. All right. So we got some pretty modest cape between 1,000 and 1,700. See if we have the lapse rates to support it, which we do. I would like to see slightly higher lapse rates for this to really scream strong tornado. I'm talking in terms of weather, not in terms of safety. Right now, like seeing lower lapse rates, it's a good thing. I would much rather see those, but having those higher lapse rates is not good in terms of safety, especially since this is going to be a nighttime threat. Jeez. Okay. So yeah, let's analyze this. So right now, actually, let's go to the real life soundings that have happened. Oh, good, we're getting some more soundings in. Okay, so let me pull up the previous sounding for Little Rock as well, so I can go over what I'm looking at for you guys. All right, so this is from 1900 Zulu, which that is 19. That's 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. They did a special sounding for this setup today, just because of how dangerous it's going to be. It's the first moderate risk that we have for this year, first one in a while too. So people aren't necessarily going to be, not going to be ready. It's like warm up before a workout. If you don't do it, you're not gonna perform at your best. So. Looking at this, the temperatures and the dew points are relatively close. However, we have this warm nose right here. It's called a capping inversion, and so what that does, it limits the amount of convection that is allowed to move up into the free atmosphere beyond the layer of free convection, or the LFC. And so if the individual air parcel is not able to get past this warm nose, then nothing's going to happen. However, since we got the newest sounding, it looks like we have some daytime heating that happened, and so therefore also we got some more moisture pumping into the area too, so that's going to help increase the Cape too. So we got the Gulf, the moist air moving in, we got daytime heating happening, and so even just 1 degree Fahrenheit, that's all it takes. So got all this. This right here is what the it's the path that the air particle takes in the atmosphere. Quite a bit to it, but just know that you follow this line to see what the atmosphere is doing. So the cap has been broken. This warm inversion right here, the capping inversion, and the red dotted line, they're not intersecting anymore. So you're gonna have all like complete cape. You have, yeah. Let's see. So the mixed layer cape, 1073, surface 2252. It looks like a pretty well mixed environment. What I mean by that is in the elevated area, it's not the dew point and temperature are not close together. They're more separated. So 1073 cape is what I would be looking at. And at the winds, we have some pretty sheared winds. We have southerly winds at the surface and all the way to the equilibrium layer or level, which is where that's where you see the thunderstorms anvil out, west southwest. So we have the southerly wind at the surface, west wind up at the near the jet stream. It's going to be what drives the threat for discrete supercells farther up northeast tonight, because all this energy is just moving north. Looking at the photograph over here too, looks pretty curved still, so that's a good indicator of wind shear. Gosh, I am really cold. I'll be right back. I'm going to turn my heater on.
We got a straight road.
Probably should keep my car between the lines while I'm looking at all this. I apologize for that. That's a lightning with this storm up here.
So this is a decent indicator of what's to come. Let's take a look at Jackson. It's a pretty similar story to Little Rock. Notice how that warm nose is a little further closer to the surface too. You got higher temps in Jackson as well. So once we get some more moisture pumping in later tonight, you'll see this inversion either increase or decrease. I've honestly forget right now, but you'll have the temperature and the dew point come closer together, and so we could have that cap break. And this is even more sheared. Wow, it's due south winds at the surface and due west at the equilibrium level. That is absolutely nuts, insane. Let's go back over here. I'm just checking to see if there's anything that was issued while I'm streaming. All right. So yeah, we've gone over the lapse rates. We've gone over the Cape. We've gone over the mid-level jet and how it's going to be affecting the storms for tonight, and also how strong the wind shear is with that perpendicular flow at the upper levels. All in all, we're going to have some possible discrete supercells tonight, right in the region that's, oh my gosh, oh, okay, right in the region that is just, I would say primarily right in here. Everything else is going to be a wind-driven threat. So, if actually, I'm gonna pull it up. Yep. So everything in this area right here, just as I was saying, gonna be potential discrete supercells becoming a squall line threat later on in the evening. And this is just day one of the storms. We're gonna have quite a bit more. Could have really, really bad weather tomorrow. You should have a little bit of fear for your life, a respectable amount for respect for weather. I do not use those words lightly. It's not to spread fear. It's not to make everyone panic. It's real. It's here, and you need to know where to go for your safe place. You need to know what to do. So I'll go over that some of that stuff too. If you don't have a basement, go to the lowest level that you possibly can in the most interior room in your house. Typically, that's like a closet and a bedroom or something like that. If you're not able to do that, go to a bathtub and cover yourself up with blankets, pillows, a bed. I've seen stories where people have gone through an EF5 tornado with a bed over their body, and it saved their life in the bathtub. So it's some legit stuff. If you're in a car and you're stuck in the middle of a path of a tornado, don't go in an underpass. Go into a ditch and get underneath your car if possible. If you're not able to, then just hunker down in your car, get as low as possible, or go into a culvert if you're able to as well. So now you're blocking yourself from those winds. My brain is scattered all over the place right now. Pretty exhausting day today. I've been focusing on these couple of days for the weather threat quite a bit over the past week as well. So thanks for joining me on my first live stream that I had a pretty difficult time setting up. Yeah, that's all I got so far. I will probably be on tomorrow to do another live stream for the day 2 high risk threat. Bye.
On the radar, other than thunderstorm. So yep, it's a little bumpy there. Just gonna keep heading north. Next town is gonna be pretty close to Boone if I keep going this way. Got some nice little rain columns going on there. And again, just lots of lightning. So we will watch and see what we get. And just keep on along with it and see if we catch anything tonight or not. I had no plans today to drive to like Fort Madison or anything. I wanted to stay around here, so we get what we get. Hopefully we get a little spin up or two. Starting to wrap around over there kind of by, looks like maybe by Manning where that low is, so starting to move across. So we'll keep our eyes out for those really high winds that'll be coming behind this thing. And then if anybody's unlucky enough to live up around, you know, Spencer, Sioux City, Sioux Falls, after that passes through, you're on the white flaky end of this stuff. So again, I am on Highway 17 headed north, almost to Boone. Just kind of following up behind this thing. Got some nice rain columns, lots of lightning, lots of turbulence, but just not enough tight rotation to pull anything out of it. So far, anyway. So I don't chase after dark. I don't know if I admire people that do, but that's their thing. So more power to them. So I will probably not be out here a whole lot longer. If it gets to the point that I can't see what I'm looking at, then I'm out. So in the meantime, you get what you get. And if I do see any damage along the way from what has come through, I will pass it along. together yet as far as bowing out. But that's here before too much longer. If the models all hold together the way I assume they will. Right now, and we're, I don't know, maybe 10 miles south of there. That, just to the west of us, kind of between Stanhope and Fraser. Probably getting some hail there. Decent winds with this, but not the big stuff that they're expecting yet, so I think it'll be coming. I think they were saying closer to maybe 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. Those when the real strong winds potentially going to hit. It's cooled off a lot. It's dropped about 12, 13 degrees in the last hour. This person behind us is chasing.
Oh, I hope they're not following us.
Think.
They might get.
Yeah, it's sort of dark and we know.
Don't worry. I'm just
No,
putting some
I was
space.
just asking.
That way.
Trust me.
Get some space from it. Maybe just to plug something in.
Stay out of that stuff.
Here, hop in the back window. Check.
Yep.
All sides. That's better. I'm going to all Missouri. Every single part of it. Anything back in that corner?
Are you sure you didn't just see that? I'm sure it wasn't the sky. I promise. I promise. Like, tripod to get a picture. Like,
It did look really well. Not like a restaurant. We're eating it.
I don't even know if the kid from since it's at close to
Well, let's take a breather. You could check with somebody on Bella.
I just want to get visual of that on the store because I can't see it.
Are you looking up too? I mean, I'm just wondering. There's a church. Alright.
It was so cute there.
Just whatever. Make a decision on that. So, what town should I aim for if I want to get in this crap?
Now,
Yes.
not Stafford. Or Stratford. I would. It's not really it is
Portland? Or do we want to go like diagonally to Marshfield?
So where?
Take your time. But I just wish I was more familiar with it. But I wish I was more familiar with Missouri.
It's changed a little bit. More days.
Okay. So
So-
stick to north for right now.
Can you? Is there a road that'll keep you east of Marshfield slightly? Maybe that you have to go through Stratford to Marshfield.
Not really without hauling ass.
Green, Missouri, at the top of 125 here. Start 20 in the morning. Yeah, I've got it. Just make your way slowly up to Stratford. Stay east of it now. Wait, no. Stratford. Go to Marshall-ish, but Maysville, Turner's, Springfield, Fairgrounds. Stay suburban.
I can give it a try.
Okay.
It's not gonna. I mean, it's pretty. Staying pretty much. Where'd it go? There you go. I can go on this diagonally. And hopefully that would keep me parallel. Well, that's the only way that I can go where I'm at right now. Do you want me to go further south?
I don't know, we're open here.
Okay.
I just can't see anything.
Okay, well, I'm gonna head north now. Hang on a second. Where are you seeing though?
behind me. I'm just gonna kind of sit and wait for some of this stuff to pass through. Some of this heavy wind and turbulence here. Might be my word of the day, I don't know. It looks like it's finally starting to come together a little bit. There's still a few little projections in areas where it hasn't pulled together, but it's finally starting to pull together and bow out a little bit. Figured about 6 o'clock in the wrap around the Fort Dodge, Ames, Des Moines area, and it was pretty darn close to about that time. So it's where the really heavy winds and stuff are gonna really start blowing stuff around and possibly causing damage. So stay safe out there. Be careful. I'm probably gonna hop off here for a while. I'm gonna be coming in behind it, and I don't think there's gonna be a lot, but if I do see anything, I will hop back on. Stay safe. Have a good night, and